Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Panos with the Persona Foundation. And I'm a big fan of these guys and BurnerSphere and the platform that they have created to emulate the Burning Man experience into the Metaverse. And this is a terrific Metaverse platform that's completely participatory, where you can enter in VR or on your desktop on a number of different platforms. And it's really the rage metaverse for me at the moment, because every Thursday I love going in there to hear the artist talks, and I just rave about it to everybody that I come in contact with. And if you stay to the end, there's a slide where you can get a free membership for a month to BurnerSphere. Otherwise, the annual fee is what, $50?
$47.98.
Yeah, just under $50.
It's going up to $47.99 tomorrow. So
right, so you might want to get in before the end of the week so that you can get the 98.
So it's worth every penny. After 2 or 3 artist talks that you've been in there, and after you make a few friends, you'll think you got the best deal in the universe. So. Going right in, I'm going to let each of the speakers introduce themselves briefly, but if you would like to see a more elaborate enumeration of their history and what they've been doing in their work for the last 10, 15 years or so, leading up to this, you can find the detailed bios in the AWA website under each of their names. And let's start with Athena. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Greg. First of all, I want to say that it's amazing hanging out with you on such a regular basis. You know, we only get to see each other here once a year. So to have someone of your history and caliber in the XR industry regularly coming into BurnerSphere, hanging out with us, being present in the artist talks and the other events that we have has really been a highlight for me. So thank you
very much. Likewise. For all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Athena Demos. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Big Rock Creative. We are an XR production studio. We work for lots of different global brands, but our passion project is that we built a simulation of Burning Man in virtual reality. It's actually an immersive documentary. My background, I come from television and film. And large-scale events. I was also a community organizer for Burning Man in Los Angeles. We call them RCs, but we're like an ambassador. And so I was producing large-scale events. Think like 8,000-person raves in the middle of downtown LA. And then I have a production background. So I was able to combine that and spin up BRCvr, which is now called BurnerSphere, with this guy.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Doug Jacobson. I'm the co-founder of Big Rock Creative. My background is cinema. I'm a film guy. Went to USC Film School and been shooting the electronica scene. I did a Burning Man documentary, and a lot of documentary / Burning Man emphasis fell into a VR hole during COVID. But like Justin, we like to be out there shooting. And so we decided when we made the platform that we were going to really lean into documentary as much as possible and storytelling.
And I'm Justin Gunn. I've been a computer geek my whole life. I was obsessed with the notion of virtual reality, reading about it, both in science fiction as a kid and kind of what was happening in the first early days, late 80s and early 90s, and always dreamed about it, and had about a 30-year career in television and news and documentaries. And I just love telling stories and sharing experiences through the art of filmmaking. And when I got a call from Athena right as the pandemic was about to set in and said, hey, I know you're really into VR. We've got this interesting project I want to show you. And I just, and I spent many years documenting Burning Man as a filmmaker, never able to fully communicate what it's like to be there, what it feels like to be there, because it's so predicated on the connections that you make with other people. So it's inherently social, and it's very grand, and it's hard. It's just hard to articulate. If anybody of you have ever been to Burning Man, you know what I'm talking about. And if any of you have ever had a friend who went to Burning Man, you definitely know what I'm talking about because they never stopped trying to tell you about it. And so this is
we apologize.
So leveraging this technology and combining it with my skill sets and Doug's skill sets as filmmakers and storytellers. It's about pushing the envelope of how closely we can approximate, how much closer we can get to communicating the experience of being there, as opposed to just kind of being a looky-loo looking in from the outside.
I just want to say Justin was the first phone call. How many people have been in BRCvr? The original. Oh, wow. Oh,
space.
wow. Oh, my gosh. Woo!
Hey, friends.
Come into BurnerSphere. The water's really warm.
Now with less dust.
Less dust, a lot less dust.
just added
you
more.
you kind of know the origin story, and Doug and I started it, and Justin was the first phone call. So when I very first landed in alt space for the first time on the playa and had that moment, I was like, this is what we were trying to do. Justin was the first phone call I made.
Yeah, I didn't know Justin before that, so it's really great to find somebody who had the same obsession that I had about shooting out there, partially because I didn't want to forget. I have a fear of losing my mind as I get older, as I can see some of you are. But I also, I'm just losing. I don't remember what year that was. So I shot.
I remember the party last night.
I remember that.
One of the
That
things I wanted to mention is they all wear many hats, these three. And you've got an organizational strategy,
Yeah.
you've got the technical lead, you've got the creative and the documentarian, and they're all sort of one mind and of one spirit. Every time I'm in there and the three of them are in there, I feel like all the bases are covered. So anybody that has any questions or needs to do anything or wants to build something, that all the resources sort of work together like a well-oiled machine. It's really amazing to find a group of just 3 people, and then the other people that they work with that aren't here, that are capable of doing this and keeping this little spirit alive and growing it quickly.
And I just want to add to that, just like Burning Man, we're people who are present on the platform. So it's not like we're behind the scenes and we've made this thing and we hope people go and do something with it. Just like Burning Man, it's a community. And so we're there, just like we're available after this talk. If anybody wants to chat, we're available in BurnerSphere. Come on in and hang out with us. And you're just become a part of the brain trust, and you become a part of the team, and people just raise their hand and say, I want to get involved. I want to do something. And that's really how it's built from the inside out.
I mean, we have a principle of communal effort, and it's my favorite principle. If you don't know about the 10 principles, come ask me. I'll tell you all about them. But we do really welcome collaboration. We are very interested in, people come up to us all the time and they're like, hey, I have this tech I developed and this thing, and we want to get it to work in this social VR space. And we're like, yeah, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, one of the reasons, and a lot of people don't realize this who don't understand Burning Man, last night we were up for an ethical award. I'm like, why would this platform be up for an ethical award? Well, Burning Man has 10 principles and an entire philosophy behind it. And we are taking the 10 principles and putting them into a digital space. And it's very challenging for some of them. Leaving no trace is, we don't want avatars mooping when they leave. And
We call them moopatars.
and then moop is matter out of place. It's trash, basically. So that's one of our challenges constantly, decommodification, gifting. How are we going to do gifting in this platform? So we're constantly thinking about this, trying to add this in. So we can't have no corporate sponsorship in the platform. We can't sell anything in the platform. So it makes it very different. I think you want to add to that.
Well, that's the next slide.
Oh, I went ahead of us. Sorry. Hey, by the way, can I call you Sir Greg since you're in the Hall of Fame?
If you like.
I didn't know if.
So we're going to show a really quick little video.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't want to?
Let him do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Let him do it. trailer.
We were just commenting up here that that's the old trailer. We're like, yeah, remember that? Oh yeah, remember that? Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so there's a longer video towards the end, time dependent. It's a little longer. And maybe if you guys want to talk through that towards the end.
Yeah.
Or address some of the things that you just saw in the video here. I think one of the most remarkable things about this platform is the way the various media types have been integrated. 360 video, stereoscopic video, 3D VR180, 360 stereoscopic, three-dimensional models that you can walk around. And we're not just talking head-mounted. If you have a PC and you want to just do it in 2D with your laptop, you can be just as much of a participant in the space as everyone else. You don't appear as like a flat avatar if you're working from your PC. You have a persona, and you're there as an avatar of your choosing, and you look the same as everyone else that's in headset. Maybe the hands aren't moving so much, you know, a few other little things here, but Doug is interviewing a lot of really, is beginning to introduce a lot of very novel ways of augmenting the experience that each of the people have that are in the space. So they continue to, their level of inclusion is identical and equal to everyone else. And equality is one of the really founding principles of being able to be in this world and participate in everything. And
Well, that's talking about some of our past work.
right.
So the
Okay.
little screen is what's currently playing, and then the big one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move to the next slide. And
After we built BRCvr, we had so many different companies coming to us wanting us to build things for them. So we did a lot of work with Microsoft, Google, T-Mobile, United Nations, and so the previous slide was a lot of the work that we had done previously.
okay.
Now Doug can talk to the technology.
Oh, I was going to say, and as you guys may or may not know, AltSpace got shut down by Microsoft in 2003, and we had all these assets. We had all these 2023, 1923, and it's been a while. And so we had all these assets, and we didn't know what to do with them, and we were going to put them on another platform, and then we thought, well, we have a lot of opinions about how social VR could be. Why don't we try this ourselves? And that leads us up to this slide.
Yeah, I had the privilege of meeting most of these folks here in AltSpace, which is a prior metaverse that was independent and bought up by Microsoft and was hosted by Microsoft for a long time. It was very active. And then they shut it down, or they tried to create an enterprise version of it that nobody really had access to anymore. And there was a lot of disappointed people. And the Burning Man-related spaces in AltSpace were some of the most popular ones. And
Yeah, I think
it
so.
just seemed such a letdown that we would have to be dependent on a platform that had a corporate overlord. And the idea that they could create and mount their own platform and took the initiative to go ahead and do that and then launch it. We got to this point where we are now, where it's growing and it's got all the details that we dreamed about having in the prior platform that were not properly implemented.
You know, I'm very fond of the mantra that every challenge is a new opportunity. And I think there was just a shout out to AltSpace. They really opened their doors to us during the pandemic to make that happen and to be able to build the community on that platform. Yeah. And so much of what they had built and what they were operating really, just empowered that to happen in the first place. But there were, little quirks and frustrations with elements of the interface or the way different, systems, mechanics worked, and it was just, everybody's a backseat, driver. So it's kind of like, oh gosh, they're really good. And we're like, if the development team could actually do this, and they did a lot for us at our request. So big shout out to that platform for that. But when that went away, it was really the opportunity that arose was, well, I get now, when I say we, I don't have a mouse in my pocket, we're talking about Doug, really led the team that rebuilt this platform, that built this platform from scratch. Then we had that opportunity to say, okay, well, that thing we always wanted to do, to push the envelope, and this kind of dovetails into the next conversation, which is, how we approached an immersive documentary rather than just a social platform. That it's a big storytelling experience
Right.
on top of a social platform.
We love Altspace, but our platform actually looks nothing like Altspace because we thought we got to do some things different. For example, we didn't want head-mounted, vaguely sci-fi UI that locks to your head when you open a thing, when you open up a menu. So all our menus are spawnable as real objects in the world in a 3D space. So you spawn the friend browser, and I think there was a shot of it there, and your friends are trading cards. And you can read their philosophy on it and pick them up and check out your friend cards. And the settings menus despawn. And so we did that differently. And then we really leaned into, like I said, different formats where you see a circle on the ground, you'll walk in, and then a 360 bubble will come of that piece. You walk into center camp and you'll see a 360 bubble of center camp. So
Again, all of this, blending all of these different formats together in service of creating a cohesive experience that gets you as close to what it feels like to be there. So Altspace did a great job of allowing us to replicate the gathering of people, because at the end of the day, Burning Man is really just a bunch of people getting together in the desert and hanging out and camping and bringing what they bring. But it's their attitude, it's the way that people interact, it's the openness that makes it magical. And so Altspace allowed us to do that. But we didn't see a lot of real people, of real human faces, and we didn't see a lot of real art because we were all locked in our houses and we had to, generate this stuff digitally from plans and drawings and things like that, and photographs. So being able to connect the experience to ground it in media that's actually recorded at Burning Man in the form of three-dimensional, fully immersive documentaries, 360 video, and then how do you incorporate 360 video, like Doug was saying, in a virtual world? Well, you can look at a photogrammetry scan. We can all here put on our headsets and go in there and be together and walk around, and I can point out things on the photogrammetry scan of a large-scale piece of art, and then there'll be circles on the ground, and you'll stand in that circle, and then you're transported to that location relative to the art in a real time and place at Burning Man, and you can see the people. Another thing that we did, we were playing with using 360 videos as essentially as skyboxes, but we needed to anchor something on the ground so you didn't feel like you were floating in space in a bubble. And Doug grabbed a model of an art car to just stand on, to just ground you while you're doing it. And it just kind of hit us like a little bolt of lightning. We're like, wait a minute, what if this camera moved? Wouldn't we feel like we're actually driving around on this art car? And so we went back the next year and rigged up a 360 camera on a monopod to a side-by-side and rigged it up with colored lights shining around so we could drive without the headlights, and it looked like it was glowing as if it was an art car, world's worst art car in person. But what we're able to do is just, hours and hours of that kind of footage, both day and night at different conditions. Riding around on top of an art car, by the way, at Burning Man is the best way to see Burning Man. It gives you
so much fun.
that elevated perspective of that 360-degree massive expanse where you go, oh, wow, the scale of it. That's the hardest thing to explain about Burning Man.
The scale.
That's,
yeah, you take off one hat, you have a documentary hat, but you also have like a Disney ride hat. Like we got to shoot plates and,
It's okay. We were told yesterday by a Disney Imagineer that we are also Imagineers, that it's not a
We
copyright.
are, yeah.
Oh, nice.
You can say it.
So once we figured out the art car thing, then it was like, ooh, what else can we do? So there's an airplane ride where you can get in an airplane, an ultralight, and fly around the city, and a hot air balloon ride, both of which exist at Burning Man. We simulated inside BurnerSphere. So those are all things that you will get to do inside BurnerSphere.
And it's really cool the way the balloon ride works.
I just want to point something out to you, Justin. You're on the slide. So above evergreen storytelling with the scarf on his head and the camera, that's Justin.
In my best burner chic.
I also programmed the platform to randomly break out into a dust storm.
Yes.
Or rain.
Or rain.
Or rain.
Oh, you saw the rain?
I did.
Okay.
I went
It's
into
more
one of the
rain.
worlds, and I was like, "Why is it raining in here?"
Yeah, just
I
because
got to put something on my shoes.
that's one other thing I want to point out. It's very special. One of our builders built a time of day system, so it will be sunset in the app when it's sunset on Playa, or nighttime. If you go in at night, it will be nighttime. a lot of things follow that. Like the cars in the distance will have lasers at night and flames coming off them, and so the time of day is very.
Yeah, it's fun. We'll have events in there. We'll have like artists talk, and it'll start out, and it's daytime, and then it gets dusk during the talk as it goes on, and then the sun sets, and then next thing you know, by the end of the Q&A, it's dark.
And then the sun starts to set, and just as the sun hits the mountain, this is one of my favorite moments in BurnerSphere. People just started howling because at Burning Man, when the sun sets and the sun hits the mountain, everyone stops whatever they're doing and goes, oh, 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 oh. And to hear, like, I'm in the middle of a talk and with an artist, and we're like, oh, the sun's setting. And everybody just stops and turns and howls. And it hasn't happened just once. It's now become a thing in the platform that the sun sets. The time of day in the app is pinned to the time of day that it is on the Black Rock Desert when those 8 days of Burning Man are going on. The star pattern in the sky is the same star pattern. Like our devs, a shout out, by the way, to Virtual
Bo.
Makers.
Bo did that.
Thank you, yeah. Virtual Makers, great job building the infrastructure for the app. And then Bo, who designed our interface. We were really very fortunate that Microsoft got rid of their entire mixed reality team.
So we could use them.
You could hire them back. And one of the profound things about this particular platform is that you really feel like you're part of a community when there's a bunch of people in there and wandering around. A lot of the other platforms that Metaverses, and I built my first Metaverse platform in the early 90s, and there was just not enough rollout of technology for a lot of people to join. So now we're in a place where you can run it standalone in the MetaQuest, and you also have the choice of using Steam with a tethered headset and other options. Make for easy onboarding for regular everyday people that aren't computer geeks, that don't have a lot of technical knowledge to navigate into a metaverse which hasn't been properly developed or designed for communal engagement. But here, like I said, when I was there for one of the events, and the sun was going down and everything else, I felt like I was really with a bunch of friends and people that I really enjoyed. For a lot of people that are remote and they're isolated, when they discover something like this, they put it on their calendar. So every Thursday they come in to see what the next greatest thing is. It's on my calendar. I stop what I'm doing on Thursday at 6 o'clock. And I try to come in. And the days that I'm not and I'm stuck somewhere at an appointment, I'm like, I'm missing out. I'm just wondering, what's going on in there. The other thing I wanted
you should go to the next slide.
Yeah.
We call it FOMO, right? Yeah. And when we built BRCvr and BurnerSphere, we realized that really what it is for people who love Burning Man is it's very much a FOMO generator. We put it on people's heads that have friends. They're like, oh, Burning Man's not for me. My friends go, but it's not for me. And then they get to experience some of the content that we created out there, and they're like, oh, they didn't tell me it was like that. I want to go.
That's the Alvin Grayland story.
Yeah.
So Alvin, I'm going to tell the Alvin story. So Alvin said to me that Burning Man's not for me. That's not something I would ever do. And I'm like, but I'll put my head in your headset and I'll watch. And so we showed him the what is Burning Man video. It's the first video you see when you go into the app, when you first get into Gate Road and you're getting ready to go into the main portal. There's a big portal that says, what is Burning Man? And so I put him in that video, and he comes out and he looks at me and he goes, how do I get tickets? And a couple years later, he comes to Burning Man with us. And last year actually was his first year on Black Rock City. And he had a great time. And last year was a tough year. But he had a great time, and he's going back.
He had a big smile on his face the whole time.
The whole time.
Doug, I have a question. The Gaussian splats are all the rage is the next metaphor for 3D scanning. And because you're all a member of the VR and AR community for a long period of time, you get to see the trends and the adoption of new technologies and the rollout. What that means in terms of this platform is that the integration time for some of these new media types is very, very short. So you started implementing Gaussian splats that into the
Yeah.
space, and at some point you're going to release more of that.
Yeah,
Can you talk about that?
we hooked up with XGrid. Athena found XGrid.
In China.
It went to, somehow hooked up with them in China, which is probably...
I went to China.
That's right.
Somehow we hooked up with them in
Somehow
China.
she met them in China.
I went to China, spoke at the BRAR Expo in Shanghai, which, by the way, if you guys want an amazing event, I mean, AWE is an amazing event, but the VRAR Expo in Shanghai is really incredible, and so is the World Digital Display in Guangzhou. Both of those happen in May. So last year, I went to both of those events and met some really incredible innovators, and XGrid was one of them. So.
And they lent us their scanner, and we took it out to Burning Man, and they were like, we just want you to see what this art looks like. So we scanned a bunch of art out there, and it's up on the platform. We also took some photographs and made Gaussian splats out of them, too. So we have a lot of data sets to process still.
And we scanned big stuff, like the man, and the whole man base, and the entire temple, and all of Cedric Camp, which we're still figuring out how to make that into.
That's rather large.
It's rather large.
They didn't know, they were scanning it in quadrants, so I have to somehow assemble the Gaussian splat into 9 pieces to make center camp. But they're great, and I think eventually, you know, we'll hopefully take it out again and get more ambitious. Like, I want to walk the city with it and start to walk down streets with it. Now, in there, if you go into the app, you'll see BlackRock Yearbook GS. We scanned our camp is BlackRock Yearbook. We take yearbook photos of everyone. So if you go to blackrockyearbook.com, we release a yearbook to everyone every year. Our whole camp, you can walk around, back in the RVs, to the porta potty.
You'll see Doug sitting in a chair.
I'm half-rezzed, sitting in a chair. But it's the splatting is going to, if we get more ambitious with it, I think is going to be really, really great.
And shout outs to XGrid for just loaning us a portal cam and just be like, here, take this to Burning Man and get what you can get. And they have been really amazing in making sure that we have these beautiful, nobody's ever scanned stuff like that with their camera. You know, they use it for construction a lot. So it was something new for them, and they had a lot of faith in us, and so we're very appreciative to them. And Insta360, who also has always made sure, like, every time a new camera comes out, I get a little email from them. It's like, hey, so we have this new camera coming out, and it's right before Burning Man. Do you want these? I'm like, yes.
And what will come up later at some point, and someone's going to ask, yes, maybe the Blackmagic 16K.
We'd love to take that to Burning Man.
I don't know, man. I'm worried.
Let me ask
the
you a
DIT.
question. When you're at Burning Man itself, you must experience it differently now that you have a platform that you can migrate something new or something exciting that you've seen on the playa in the real world. How do we onboard this? How do we get this into our BurnerSphere platform? It's a different thing. I've done a lot of 3D photography, and I've done a lot of spatial scanning for a decade at least, and I look at the world differently. I look at foreground, midground, background for my stereoscopic work. I look at whether something is interesting and I can walk around it and scan it in 3D and create a 3D point cloud model, and I acquire these assets for some purpose in the future, usually thinking about preserving history in some way or time and place. You must think differently now when you go to Burning Man when it comes to these different ways of creating models and which artists you're going to be able to find a way to digitize their work.
We're more integrated with Burning Man organization, and we're more integrated with the artery. So Peter at the artery will go, okay, here, I'm going to drive you around, show you the art pieces you should probably get. And here's the artist you probably should be talking to. And so or they'll put Athena on a scissor lift above the burn.
That is the best way to watch the burn. I'm 40 feet in the air. I'm over everything, even some of the art cars. Sometimes I'm eye to eye. This past year, I was eye to eye with one of the art cars, which was actually a lot of fun. And the man is just burning directly in front of me.
So you cannot come down to go to the
cameras.
bathroom. Like, you are stuck
No,
up
you
there.
are stuck in that scissor
Which is
lift.
why I haven't done it, because I'm like, I have a fear of being stuck on a scissor lift and having to go to the bathroom.
But Greg, to sort of try to answer your question about how it changes the relationship, for myself as a creative producer on this, it's a struggle to try to find what I'll call work-life balance out there, which is like enough time to take care of yourself and also enjoy yourself. And it just feels like any moment that I've ever had out there where I said, okay, I'm not going to take my camera. I just need to just go be, because I can't be shooting all the time because I'm not really participating in the community if I'm only doing that in a weird way. It's strange. And I'll go out without my camera and instantly regret it.
Yes.
You can never do that.
Yes. I'm like looking over you going, wait. You went out without your camera? How dare you?
I missed the wolf guy hugging the dragon. How did I know that was going to happen?
Good.
So it's very hard to go to Burning Man and not be constantly engaged in it. It's like that old TV game show Shop Till You Drop, where you get a minute and a half to fill up your shopping cart. It feels like that, where it's like
8 days to fill up your SD card.
That's it.
That's what it is. Yeah, and we fill them out every day. I do want to speak to that slide.
Okay, all I was going to say.
I call it a glorious curse.
It is.
It is. The way we do it.
Do you want to talk about
I do.
sustainable global reach? We didn't really talk about that. So that's the slide that's up right
so
now.
I do actually want to talk about this. We've been going through some of the slides. So the way our platform is set up, and we have a membership, and we call it camp dues, because at Burning Man, your camp dues are the amount of money that everyone in the camp contributes to whatever the gift is that the camp is giving to the community as a whole. So it might cover the cost of the infrastructure of the camp. It might cover the cost of the actual gift, if it's a food camp or a sound camp or whatever the activity is for the infrastructure. So we designed this the exact same way, because BurnerSphere is built on the 10 principles. And so what is the communal effort? What is the gift that we're giving? And everyone as the community has to participate. So your participation is your camp dues. That's the easiest way that you can participate. And we broke it down and figured it out to cover server costs, some development costs, functionality improvements, to be about $48 a year if we had the population of Burning Man in the app. So now we're growing to that number. We're shooting to that number, and that's the global reach. And we're growing. We're growing, week over week. It's definitely happening. And we invite all of you to come and participate. People ask us all the time, is this a replacement for Burning Man? Do I now not have to go? No. That's not it. It's a FOMO mechanism. It's going to make you want to go or find the communities in your backyard. There are 44 regional events that happen all over the world. There are more people that go to regional events, local events, than there are that go to the main one. And we want to be that gateway that you can find all of this through BurnerSphere. You can learn about the regional network.
Just like any good gateway drug, the first one's free.
Yes. When I made this slide, it says 2,100 early adopters. We're actually up to 2,300, and that's only been about a month. So like I said, it's just sort of happening really, really quickly. And the infrastructure of the platform itself can be white labeled and repurposed. So we're now we're almost at 1 year from launch. We launched on July 22nd with BurnerSphere on both the Meta and the Steam store, almost simultaneously, which is random. So 10 minutes between each other, we got notification that Steam said yes, and we were launched, and then Meta said yes, and we were launched. And I happened to be at the Burning Man office at a meeting at the time, so it was sort of random and celebratory and kind of fun that we both got them at the same time. So we're almost at that 1 year mark. We've worked out almost every bug. And now we're looking for collaborative partners. We're looking for what is that project's going to use this technology that's going to have their own app on the store.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges we have, and I think everybody at AWE probably has, is that we made this virtual space, and communicating that to people is always a show and not tell. People cannot understand what it is until you drag them in and say, look. So that's one of the larger things that the whole XR community always struggles, is telling everybody in the outside world how excited we are about these technologies. And, what is BurnerSphere? What do you do? People...
There's an irony to it because we created BurnerSphere with the intention of being able to communicate what it feels like to go to Burning Man, which is impossible to describe verbally. You have to experience it. So we created this simulacrum of Burning Man so that people could get a sense of what it feels like to go. And we've, in the process, created something that's equally impossible to describe verbally.
Yeah, we're in a conundrum of sorts there.
But I will say, BurnerSphere is completely free to join. You do not have to pay anything to come and join. We have like 10, 15, I lost count, guest worlds that are open that you can explore whenever, and a lot of our events are free to join. We have a world tour that happens every Friday by this guy Swirly, who's been going to Burning Man since 1995. He's got a world of knowledge in his head, and he'll tell you all of it. And just like all of us will tell you all about Burning Man every single day. And that's also absolutely open and free for our guests just to come and explore. And then there's over 100 worlds that are available for campmates. And counting. We open new worlds every other week. And then we have artist talks, we have meditations, we have DJ events, we have live music events. We had this guy DJ on gramophones. Like he had 2 gramophones, and he was spinning
1930, Bing Crosby.
and then spinning records, and he went, this
Here's some
record is
Bing
over 100
Crosby.
years old. And it's like, oh my God. That was really cool. And it's crazy stuff like that that happens at Burning Man. And then we have just all sorts of interesting technology that we're constantly throwing out there in ways that we have created interactivity. I think you guys call it gamification. We just call it interactivity, where, there might be an art piece that takes 6 people to activate it. So now you got to go get your friends to get on the platform, to all go to this art piece, to all stand on these platforms, to get these beams of light to go out, to get the whole art piece to open up and activate. And then those are interactivities.
The truth is that even if you don't care about Burning Man or want to go to Burning Man, it's really about the art and the content and each artist's intention, which is nothing to do with Burning Man. Like, El Nino made a fish about Puerto Rico. There's a whole story behind it. So you can enjoy it on its own. You could, if alone, you could go through and watch the documentaries and check out the art and read about all the different pieces of art. You don't have to have someone with you the whole time. And we've been doing events that have been a little, outside. We just did an Everest event. This guy, Alex, had shot a 360 of climbing Everest, and we created a world for him, and he was walking us through his stages. Were you guys there at the Everest event? Really great, because you can stop him and go, wait. What do you mean this is the death zone? It's like, you are dying. You have only a certain amount of time to get up to that mountain, and you're going to die. So
I went to that one. That was really a great one.
Really great. So
I took the headset off, and I went to my partner and said, "Oh man, you really missed out."
what a great kind of hybrid documentary live talk where you're walking through, and we're on Everest in the 360 bubbles.
And
We have one
these are the kind
coming
of
up.
talks that happen at Burning Man. So someone will come and they'll give a lecture about something fascinating, and so it's not a platform just for historical, preservation of Burning Man culture and art, which is largely an ephemeral event, but it's also an active platform where people can come and replicate the kinds of things they do at Burning Man and the kinds of talks they give.
So we're transforming storytelling into story living. It's not enough that you're just going to sit back and hear about the story, but you're actually in it. You're part of it. You're experiencing it. And so that is the magic secret sauce of what we created. And we have some really, like the Everest thing is going to happen again because everybody loved it so much. We have Dr. Marcus Erickson that's going to come in and talk about sailing a boat made of plastic or letting it drift with him in it in the ocean to find the gyres, and that started the 5 Gyres project. He's going to come and talk about that. And we have this whole museum that we created, or Doug created. And Doug, everyone. When you walk through the worlds of BurnerSphere, you're literally walking through his mind.
I see. Well, yeah, it's not UGC yet, and then we can talk about that too.
But let's give everybody the code.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Some of you have gotten cards from me. but this is the code that we've been given to everybody at AWE. We want you to come and play and see all of it, especially since all of you work in technology, in this technology. We want to hear from you. We just sent out an email to everyone that went to my personal email that said, hey, you're a community member. We want to hear from you. How can we make this better? How can we make this more engaging? What would get you to come and participate more, feel more radically included, feel more part of the whole, make you want to radically express yourselves? How can we more embody these principles in this digital space? And I have to tell you, because we launched it right before AWE, I'm terrified of my inbox at this point, because we got a 40% response rate on 2,300 emails. And I'm going to answer every single one of those individually. So people have to be patient. But take this code. You're going to sign up as a campmate. You'll choose 1 month. You'll choose the monthly rate. And then right before the pay button, there'll be an add discount code. It's tiny, and we don't have anything to do with that UI. But and you put in this code, and it'll give you the 1 month free.
That's good. Okay. So, wrong way. Sorry.
All right.
So what's interesting is this is a very credentialed effort here. Many organizations have recognized how innovative this is and how communally important it is to have a platform like this. So it's for most of these events and producers, once they have a chance to experience it, it's a no-brainer that it's something that they should give an award to. And that really helps accelerate the onboarding, really, which is the hard part for most of these platforms, is getting people in there and getting them to come
It's getting people in
For
there,
me, the
yeah.
best part of it is the ability to discover and explore. I know for sure, even if there's not an event going on, and I just decide I want to go in there and wander around, I will experience more things that I have not seen, and then there's many more that I know that I haven't seen yet. So I always feel like in the back of my mind, there's something for me to do, there's someplace for me to go. If anything else is going in my life which is not going well, I put on my headset and I go in there and I lose the world.
Did you
and
find
I
Daft
discover
Punk at the
something.
trash fence
What's
yet?
that?
Did you find Daft Punk at the trash fence yet?
Or the Secret Jazz Cafe.
No, that's
we hid Easter eggs inside certain porta potties. So if you find a porta potty with the door open, you might want to check it.
We call them portal potties.
Said no one ever. I do want to point out, by the way, on this particular slide, it's missing a laurel. We are currently, this week, being showcased at Fivers in Toronto. So that's going on right now, and it's going on online. And so that's a laurel that's missing. And then I just found out while we were here that we got into the Portland International Cinema and Animation Festival that is happening in August. So we're very excited about that one.
So I'm going to show the next long-form video, and if you guys want to talk.
And then
through
hopefully
this-
we have moments for questions.
Right. So does that start on its own? Oh, there we go.
Hi, welcome to BurnerSphere. BurnerSphere is an immersive documentary experience that tells the story of the
Can you tell who
communities
that
that
is?
make up the Burning Man culture through a unique, interactive, multiplayer platform.
Okay, go
It
voice.
offers a year-round social VR platform for participants to connect, explore, engage with the essence of Black Rock City from anywhere in the world. At its heart, BurnerSphere is a documentary you don't just watch, you step inside. We filmed on the playa at
That's my
Burning
Vanna
Man
White.
using immersive VR formats like
It's you.
360 and 180 3D. And we also scanned real art projects so they could live on
So
in
everybody
virtual
that works
space.
with us knows that they're
Every
also going to be
glowing
on
blue
camera.
stained glass portal
So every
you see
camera
is a
person has to be
doorway
okay on
into an
camera.
episode of the story. So now we're in Center Camp. This is the central core of the entire city. As you can see on this map, you can see Center Camp, and the red star is exactly where we're standing. And all of this is filled with art, which we're going to check out later. But right now, let's go check out Centercamp. You'll notice the blue circle on the ground. Anytime you see one, a video is going to play. This one is a 360 bubble of the center of Centercamp. As you can see, there's another blue circle, which means there's another video. This one is 3D stereoscopic, which
How
means
many
it has
videos
depth
are in the app?
if you're wearing a Quest headset or PC VR.
50.
So now we're going to go into the green portal, which will take us out to the 6 o'clock
Nobody
road.
knows.
This is Atabe by El Nino. It's a beautiful piece that was at Burning Man that we did a photogrammatic scan of. So you can see that the details and the dust is really there. As part of our art piece exhibition, you can walk into the 360 blue bubble that's right over here. This is Atabe. Next to each art piece is an annotation. You walk up to it and it will appear.
That is something that
This
doesn't exist
is
at
our
Burning Man.
3D Gaussian splat world selector. Here you can go through and find which piece that you want to explore. This year we took an X-Grid camera to Black Rock City. It's a very high quality LiDAR scanner that captures a 3D representation of a
And you can walk
beautiful
around
piece
that
of art
model.
at Burning Man. This is Haven by the Flaming Lotus Girls. Well, that's our little tour. Thank you so much for coming along. Obviously, there's a lot
Now the
more
sun is
for
setting.
you to check out.
Flotation devices are
Please come
located
back
under your seat.
Anytime, you're always welcome here. Welcome to BurnerSphere.
Fun.
We only have a tiny bit of time for questions. Should we do
Yes.
that?
Yeah, let's have questions. Carlos.
I'll start. Carlos and thank you. I have a loud voice, but anyway, I just want to say for those of you that are just curious about this, I did Burning Man in alt space and ended up going to Burning Man when it opened up after the pandemic. The inspiration that these guys made created such an experience in alt space. I said, I have to see the real thing, and it was magical. Also, they have their name tags over the top of their heads. It's gray when you first go in. Click on that, and then they click on yours, and then you can find them super easy by going to where it shows the people. Just go in there and check it out. And I recommend you use a mouse instead of trackpad. It's much easier to move around.
By the way, Carlos Austin, everybody. Carlos has been coming into AltSpace and then BurnerSphere and filming and doing was like a 3-camera switch with 3 different avatars. Like you have nailed filming inside of a virtual space.
Sure
so if
has.
you need somebody to film inside of your virtual spaces, talk to this guy right here. He is the master.
Yes, thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlitos.
Noah Nelson of No Proscenium. Question for you guys. You've always done such an incredible job of documenting and really establishing the space. So even for people who haven't been, to get that taste, get that sense, as you open up and white label the platform, are you going to bring some of that skill set to the people who are connecting with that? Like how will that work? Because so much of what you're doing with the 360 video, capturing the splats, there's so much data capture, but also storytelling in that data capture and an understanding from the craft perspective of what's going to make it work to create that sense of presence. And I'm wondering how that's translating for like a museum that wants to connect.
Yeah, I don't think we're not doing a thing where we're like, here, we're going to white label it. Good luck. And we built the tools. It's going to be connected to us. It's going to be like a museum almost saying, we want you to shoot a documentary of our museum and figure out how to do it. Because the question with a museum is going to be, are we going to Gaussian splat scan it? Or are you going to walk? Or maybe if it's a museum of Civil War stuff, maybe we build it in a Civil War field. It doesn't have to be in the building. You know, these are some questions we should answer. Where should it take place?
But I think the question you're asking is, it's not just a technology. It's a team with specific creative skill sets. So in that way, what we've built over years of just doing it is we've really kind of turned into a creative agency with technology that we've built to underpin it. So it really is about this new form of hybridized storytelling using all different forms of media, from 3D immersive to 360, even using flat 2D video that's archival as part of the storytelling process within the 3D world, photographs, whatever it may be. We're completely media agnostic. It's really about whatever serves the storytelling. And of course, to make it as rich as possible using the newer video formats like 360 and 3D immersive.
Yeah, the use case of Burning Man makes us add things, and that'll take us so far. And then the next, if we have a client that's, if we did a Comic-Con, which is the opposite of Burning Man with IP Nightmare, then we would have to put cell tools in and all the stuff that we wouldn't need for Burning Man. So we'll just sort of evolve it wherever the project needs.
Oh, right. We also have BurnerSphere on YouTube. Thank you, Carlos. And on Discord. Discord is where we have our community conversation. So join our Discord, BurnerSphere. BurnerSphere on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. If you just look for BurnerSphere, go to our website, burnersphere.com. And that's where you can find out about all these channels.
We post the artist talks and events on YouTube afterwards, so you can watch the artist talks.
And, you know, a few months ago, we did a whole weekend of a Burning Man film festival. So these were films that were submitted and curated that we screened in the world on giant in-world projection screens, and then also simultaneously fed camera angles that Carlos and team was covering the film festival for YouTube from within the world. I mean, it's like all these different layers. And participating in that film festival in world throughout the weekend, it was really, really nice to be able to be in the world and interact with people, attend a talk, ask questions, and watch some of these videos from in the world. But you know, you don't want to wear your headset all day for a whole weekend. So, you know, be able to take your headset off when a film's playing and have YouTube on, you know, the giant 70-inch TV in my living room at full resolution and kick back on the couch and enjoy the film from that perspective, and then jump back into the headset and go talk to people about what we all just witnessed. So lots of different kinds of points of entry that are like different depending on the use case, like a film festival like that. You're like, well, okay, it's really nice to have that happening simultaneously on another screen.
Yeah, the other thing I've enjoyed is Discord has an overlay. So when you're using Steam, you can have the Discord overlay. And so sometimes I do the Discord overlay and I'm like chatting with my team or chatting with people while I'm inside BurnerSphere giving a talk. And it doesn't actually disturb my being able to give this talk. So we've found different ways of like integrating different technologies with BurnerSphere that allow for more connectivity.
And we want to collaborate with more, I mean, Burning Man artists. Also, like the drone show guys got a hold of us, and they're like, can we do a drone show in this app? And it turns out that the drone show programming is in Unity, so I could convert their drone show into a Unity, and I tested it, and I had a whole drone show in the app, and it looks like colors and lights.
But we need to program in them falling out of the sky, right?
It's much
Because they don't
safer.
fall out of this, like, oh, we get the whole drone show. It's
So I'm like,
great.
okay, it's dusk, and now you hit play on the little kiosk there, and you hit play, and then the drone show goes up. I need to put that whirling sound in, though. I don't
There's also a power wash game where you can sit there and try to wash your RV.
Yeah, I
and
got
as you wash and you come back
It's true,
around,
I
it's
made a power
dusty
wash
again.
game. I
You
was
have to
obsessed.
keep going and doing it. You got to use vinegar. It
Yeah,
should be like a vinegar
I was
bath.
gonna put a vinegar bucket on the bottom. Yeah, I was like, God.
How many people have been to Burning Man?
That
Oh,
dust
nice.
does not come
I'm
off
embarrassed
without
to say I
vinegar.
haven't.
Well, yes, you have.
That's true.
So this is my way of going.
But yeah, I have a power wash game in there because I was like,
I've
Any
been-
other
Push RV.
questions? Do we have any other questions? Yes, up here.
You said something about being at Burning Man. I remember a conversation, I believe it was with Justin, in one of the earlier art cars, and we were standing on the art car, And I said, this is really amazing. It's like we're here. And then I looked at him, and he goes, yeah, it's like we're here. And I said, wait, you realize, and it just hit me like this epiphany, it was a complete, I didn't do it on purpose, I just said it. And then I realized I didn't say it's like we're there.
Right.
I said it's like we're here.
That's right. I remember that.
So just to everybody, yeah, go into it because then you will be at Burning Man.
That's
I
right.
still highly recommend the physical version.
Yes.
But yeah.
He has a question
go
over
ahead.
here.
Yeah, so I'm a co-founder of a camp in Burning Man since a little before the COVID. And we were in Center Camp last year, so I will be happy to see it when I connect. My question is just, what about the relationship between you and the Burning Man organization as a kind of partnership?
Yeah.
Because
We annoy
very
them.
sensitive to...
I'm totally kidding.
We're constantly bugging them. No, we have a written agreement with Burning Man. We had one at the beginning in 2020. Actually, I was the one when all these different platforms, there used to be 6 different offerings in 2020, and then I think there were 4 or 5 in 2021, and then we're the last man standing. Or woman. But so we have an agreement with Burning Man that allows us to collaborate with them, and we call ourselves the official virtual Burning Man experience. They provide us with content. They provide us with, they put stuff out on their email list and on their newsletters to let people know what's going on inside of the platform. And we are working together to create this in a way that is warm and welcoming people into the community. Like, they understand as well that people are going to find this digital version because it's so easy to access, and then find their local burns, and then come to the big burn. So it becomes this progression.
We have a media pass and a documentary pass at Burning Man, and we work, and they that opens up a lot of access to us, and they now know us very well. So they give us access to parts and things that we would not have access before.
And I would just add to that the spirit of the relationship between our team and our project and the Burning Man organization and the Burning Man community that they serve really is overwhelmingly positive. Part of the mission of Burning Man Project, the nonprofit that runs the whole thing globally, is really to spread the ethos and the culture of Burning Man and the community globally. And the event itself is inherently limited, both in time and size. And so it limits who can actually go to Burning Man for all different reasons that have to do with accessibility, both physical accessibility, socioeconomic accessibility, scarcity of tickets is another thing. So it's just not possible for as many people as the Burning Man community would like to be able to experience Burning Man. It's not possible for that many people to do it firsthand at that thing in the desert. So the regional network is a big part of that, with local burns that Athena was referring to. And in the same spirit of that sort of regional exposure, BurnerSphere serves that role in a digital form.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, you've got 1 minute.
Wait, we got Leslie in the back that wants to say
Go
something.
Les, go Les.
Who's coming to Burning Man with us this year? How many people
no.
want to go to Burning Man?
All right, well, Leslie's got room in her RV.
Pickup truck, so you get a little rough in the back there. But it's one thing I wanted to say. There's one way in which BurnerSphere actually, it doesn't sound possible, but exceeds the actual experience of being at Burning Man, and that's that you can fly. And so you guys had an amazing event where you revealed this year's temple, and we were with the architect and the designer. They were all there giving speeches, and we could fly over the temple.
Yeah,
and I am so sorry that when I go there in person, I'm not going to be able to fly.
And to be clear, that's the temple that has yet to be built, that will be
Right.
built at this coming Burning Man. So to be able to preview art before it's built in fully rendered detail is a very special perk of what we're able to do at Burning Man.
And we have all the temples. There's 25 years of temples
And
that
all the
started
man
in 2020.
bases.
And all the man bases aren't open yet, but the temples are open. The man bases aren't
Well,
open
we
yet.
have them.
We have them. We
We'll
have
tell you
them.
about them.
You'll
I
get them
have seen them.
soon. It's coming.
So thank you to our wonderful speakers.